Yes. For example, in the short term, something may seem very good to us. In the long term, it can have devastating consequences. And one well-known example is in the 60s, we had the sexual revolution. And in the short term, it seemed, well, we can actually experience more happiness and pleasure with more people if we don't just if we have sexual relationships with anybody we want to, as opposed to just with one person for life within marriage. And at first, it seemed good to the younger generation because they'd never experienced the benefit of a lifetime relationship within marriage and sexual fidelity. They'd never experienced that when you're young, of course. And B, short term, it is fun to have sex, according to, I mean, that's just the natural instinct. What we did not see were the long-term consequences, and one of them was illustrated in a meeting I went to at our local school where our kids were attending. They had brought in a worker from Kitchener-Waterloo at a clinic that services both the University of Waterloo and Wilfrid Laurier University. And it was they did a presentation. I think they were talking about sex ed or something. I can't remember the actual reason they brought in this medical practitioner. But she kept talking about STD, sexually transmitted diseases, and so forth. So I was really curious because pretty much the whole seminar was just a litany of examples of university students with various diseases that are transmitted through sexual relations and sexual contact. So I asked a question at the end. I said, "What, you're talking a lot about problems here at the university, these two universities. What percentage of university students do you think are suffering from sexually transmitted diseases?" And she said, "Oh, very conservatively, 2/3 of all university students at these two universities are experiencing sexually transmissible diseases." And I was, wow. See, we had no idea in the 1960s of the long-term harm and pain and suffering that would occur as a result of the sexual revolution. And we had no idea of how that would affect or negatively affect long-term relationships through marriage and families. And we had no idea how that in turn would affect the mental health of the, let's say, the millennials right now in our
And
Gen.
not even just that. Like you look at inner city gangs. A lot of what you're seeing there is kids who do not have fathers that are looking for love somewhere
Yeah.
and belonging, and next thing you know, they're in a gang, and so you get a lot of society's problems today are really a result of decisions that were made back then.